Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to paint a winter scene, and I was kind of in the mood to paint an orc and focus on some specific characteristics you normally see in those characters, which, ironically, the color of their skin can easily fall into holiday color scheme. And I may have intentionally made that a thing. But at the same time, I also had a strong urge to paint an orc. Anyways, I thought I would be a bit vulnerable and show my what most people call chicken scratch, or I guess you could also call it creative process. I always start off with thumbnails to figure out placement of elements before I make the actual final piece. And then I will do a little bit of a bigger sketch with some color to get an idea of colors I might use for the final piece. And I actually use alcohol markers during this process before watercolor. I don't know, I just feel like using a different medium at times can be refreshing for me. It's nice to step away from what I normally do occasionally, even though watercolor and ink are my favorite mediums. I don't always like the way these thumbnails look most of the time, and sometimes I end up liking a few. The anatomy usually looks way out of proportion, but I don't really focus on those details during this stage, which helps me loosen up a bit when I finalize the piece. I figured for this orc, she has probably spent her whole day preparing for future battles in order to protect her tribe of people. I think the most commonly used weapon of choice for orcs is usually some kind of battle axe. In my final piece, I decided to fine-tune the way the battle axe looks because in my previous drawings, it looked way too plain, and I've kind of wanted to make it look a bit more badass and a bit more unique to the character. I wanted to talk a bit about the holidays in this video, because metaphorically speaking, the holidays can often feel like, for some people, preparing for battle. To give you a bit of perspective on my personal life, I work in retail as my full-time job to support my family at the moment. So I'll often hear stories from people of many walks of life going through different things during the holidays. I've met people that have family members they can't always get along with, and to have the holidays means you sometimes have to be in the same room with these people. I've also heard of a few dealing with family members becoming very ill during these times, or even passing away. For anyone that may be going through these rough patches during these times, I wish you nothing but the best that you can do in the moment, and I hope you are taking the time to take care of yourself during these times. Because I feel like it's easy not to and neglect, your own self sometimes when you're going through these things. I feel like growing up, my holidays were large, and I would often spend time with my siblings and cousins during that time. We would always have good food and good company. Later on in my adult years, those dynamics start to change, and I find our family gatherings are usually smaller because of passings in the family, or sometimes people get married and end up dispersing to the families they married into a bit more. I know a few years ago, my grandma became ill around the holidays, and I remember visiting her in the hospital Christmas Day. Before I went over to visit my parents, she is normally the one that takes the initiative to host all these family gatherings, and my mom had to take the initiative that year to take that in her place. I find that even during those tough moments, my family still tries to maintain some form of holiday spirit, even when the times are tough. But that can be a very tedious thing to do for some, and I get that. But I hope that you all found some way to enjoy a bit of the holidays, even if it's something as small as grabbing a holiday coffee somewhere, driving around looking at holiday lights, or even working on paintings or drawings as I'm doing here. I hope you enjoyed this video and painting I did of a winter orc scene. It can be a bit of a challenge for me to keep a consistent schedule with videos, especially over the holidays with the job I do. But I hope to post videos here at least once a week. But I can't make any promises considering this is just a hobby for me at the moment. I'd love to hear in the comments on how your holiday was, and if you did do anything at all to take care of yourself or did something that made you happy. Until then, I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now. Happy holidays, and hoping for a happier new year.